Fergus of Galloway. I didn't see Fergus of Galloway, but it was part of the Fringe Festival. Hey.
Not Fringe,
Was it not
actually.
Fringe?
No, it was here in the Rosebank Theatre.
Was it?
Yes, it was a very small. Oh, sorry, it was for Fringe, for Cape Town Fringe. Apologies.
Yes.
That's the next one it did.
You made
My
it.
bad. My bad. Sorry. Like, what sauce is just?
happened here?
Sorry. No, it did Cape Town Fringe, but it was a very small production, which is also, it was a beautiful production actually, and it did very, very well, which is also one of the many reasons why I was surprised I was actually nominated, because that's the first production I did come to Cape Town. I've only been here for just over a year actually. And that's the first thing I did. I was broke out of my mind. I had nothing going well for me, and that production happened.
Shame.
And it led to all of this, which is amazing.
Now tell me about Fergus of Galloway. You play a homeless person? Various characters?
I play various characters, but the basic storyline is it's about four bums that are, well, four bums / artists, and we're living in a world where artists are no longer being taken seriously. They're not being considered as artists. They're not being paid well enough. There's no more funding, and funding is going to the wrong places. And these artists are now, they're out in the streets and they're doing this final musical in a sense, where they're hoping that if they perform this musical, whoever owns this area that they're staying in will allow them to stay. And through the performance, the entire performance, they perform their heart out, but at the end they realize there was no one ever watching. It's a sad ending, but it's much like the current situation we have in this country, that you perform your heart out as artists, but no one's really watching, which is, I love that piece for that very message, that we need to pay attention to the artists in South Africa, that artists are suffering here. That's why they're constantly going overseas, because there's better pay, there's more attention, and they live comfortably overseas. So it was great, but touchy.
Well, that was my next question, is what's it like to be a stage actor in South Africa? Do people still go, and I mean, I still go to the theater, and I know a lot of people who do, but it's not very mainstream anymore. Or was it ever mainstream?
It had a moment where it came close to being mainstream for me, in my opinion. But South Africa's, I'd say, is mostly known for its poor theatre, the type of apartheid type of theatre, just for lack of better wording, that we always use theatre as a medium to fight for our rights and to get equality in the country. And now that it's post-apartheid, and we're now living in a time where it's now equal rights and so on and so forth, it's tough, because I think also Ethel Fugard put it very well. He said that South Africa is standing in a boxing ring with gloves without an opponent. So that we're still fighting, that we still have these apartheid pieces which are still relevant in a sense, but we're no longer in that era. So in a sense, we're no longer fighting for something. So it's hard to keep that going, especially in a country where we're known for that. So it's not as mainstream, but it has a possibility to be, because we have amazing stories here. We truly have amazing stories. And it's strange that they do well overseas, but they don't do so well here. Yeah, I'd say that.
So we need to support those artists.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Yeah, shucks, man. We do, because there's so much talent out there, and it's sad to see someone who's got an amazing talent fade away. Especially when you hear that an artist in South Africa has passed away and they didn't have money to save and pass on to their kids.
Yeah.
That they've got all this stardom going, but there's no currency carrying them forward. As much as the topic should never always be about money and should be about the passion of the arts, but at the end of the day, you need the funding to drive the art. So that's something we can't mess around with. We have to be honest about. Yeah, I'd say.